Welcome to the Swift Barracks. This is our home. I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to try filming a renovation project that I'm going to be doing over the next, hopefully, week or two, maybe month or two, but we'll see how long it takes. Basically, our house was built exactly 60 years ago, and essentially we're the fourth owners. I've met the last two sets of owners. The only people I didn't meet was the original owners, the people who actually had this custom built. Anyway, the bottom line is the house essentially has not changed for 60 years. It's in great shape, but there are a few things that could be updated, and this is going to be one of those projects. Just going to flip back here. This is the floor plan of our house. For what it's worth, you were just looking at a picture taken kind of from this angle from the street. And right now, I'm going to show you in a second, but I'm sitting here in the living room. Here's our kitchen. If you notice in the 50s, rooms were rooms, and there's a room with a door, and a room with a door, and a room with a door. They didn't have things like open floor plans, and so the kitchen is essentially a big, a rectangle with a door outwards and a door inwards, and the living room is pretty much the same thing. You can come into the living room from the foyer, and then out. And this is actually not right. This I kind of messed up this. The doorway's right here, not there. I'm not sure what I did with this one. But anyway, bottom line is, right now I'm sitting in the living room, and here's the kitchen. And for us to go into the kitchen, we have to go all the way. This actually has to go in here, through the foyer, down the hallway, into the kitchen and all that. So anyway, what I want to do is I want to open this wall up here between the kitchen and the living room, not only increase or improve the flow in terms of foot traffic, but also improve heating. Right now our kitchen gets kind of cool, this part of the kitchen. You get an unheated, semi-heated sunroom. You get a north-facing side of the house. In the kitchen there's a couple of little baseboard heaters that do an okay job, but not a great job. And so this tends to get kind of cold. And so if this opens up, I think air circulation would be better. Certainly our snack to TV time will be significantly reduced when we can kind of just shoot right into the kitchen. So that's where, again, I'm right now sitting in the living room, and I'm going to pull back here. And this is the living room. That's the fireplace. That's the section I was talking about that I want to open up. I'm going to move around here. Right now it's a bookshelf set into the wall. And I want to take that and kind of push that right straight through to the kitchen. And just to give you a quick tour, this is our living room, fireplace. Again, I drew that kind of wrong. I had the door there and then the foyer, but you really go through the foyer, and I'm going to take you into the kitchen in a second. And this is the rest of our living room. Okay. All right. So again, I'm sitting here on the couch. The commercial comes on. I need a snack. What do? Can't go that way. Yeah, I can kind of go through the sunroom and out the door and into the kitchen. In the summer, that's fine. But in the winter, these all stay closed to keep the heat in. So what I'm forced to do, unfortunately, is kind of get up, walk through the foyer, take a turn, take another turn down the hallway. Hi, Penny. She's my assistant today. And then into the kitchen, and then another turn, and another turn. And so anyway, here's the refrigerator, yada, yada. So this is the back side, what you're seeing right in front of you. That's the back side of the shelves that I showed next to the fireplace. And it's a door to the sunroom and our backyard north-facing. So what a project we're going to do, as I had mentioned, I want to break this open. I'm going to pull these open. And right now, what I have, flip the lights on, is a washer dryer, as you can see, and then a little closet next to it. And this right here, if you notice, you can kind of see it raises up as a lip. That's actually the back side of the shelves that you saw on the other side. So again, let me back all the way up. So what we want to do, is remove those louvered doors, take the washer dryer out, push that straight through right into the living room, and I should be able to wave to whoever's sitting on the couch. I'm going to actually the plan is to remove that closet. And then the tricky part is we have ordered, we purposely delayed it for a few weeks to have delivered a stackable washer dryer, which is slightly smaller, but not that much smaller. They're actually full-size washer dryer. And I'm going to try to custom make an area in that corner, washer dryer facing into what will become the hallway, into the living room, and then kind of a custom enclosure. Couple of problems with that I'm going to face. I'm very, very restricted on space. I barely have space to make that work, so I'm going to have to come up with some innovative solutions, and we'll see how that goes. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to narrate every boring detail. In fact, I'm going to try some fast motion stuff just to show you, give you an idea of what goes on. And I'll probably break this up into various videos if there's of interest. If there's no interest, this is just for our view then. Anyway, that's the project. Let's get going.
Okay, to get started, pretty quick and easy. Take out the louvered doors. Next, the dryer. Again, pretty simple. Unplug, disconnect the hose, and out the door it goes. I'm storing everything in the sunroom. That'll eventually probably go in the basement, set up the laundry down there. Next comes the washing machine. Had some problems with that. Disconnect valve didn't work. It was leaking, so I had to shut off the whole water to the whole house, disconnect the washer, and then rig something up temporarily to prevent the water from leaking. Out the door that goes too. Then the project actually starts when I start pulling out sheetrock. Getting a little warm. So taking out the sheetrock, and at some point I say, yep, got to take the that light out, so I have to go disconnect the electrical, shut off the electrical, and then disconnect that light, cap it off, and then I can turn the power back on. The cabinets are all custom built in place, so they're really tight tolerances. Hard to get them out, particularly if you want to preserve any of the wood. At this point, the project actually begins because there's no going back once I start pulling our living room portions down. Disconnecting the electrical outlet. Yes, the power is off. We do want to preserve as much of this as we can, so I'm being very careful with the trim. If possible, we might reuse it somewhere in the house, maybe the basement. Not sure, so I'm trying to push from the backside, and we'll see if it comes out as a unit. And fortunately, it is built as a unit, so once I get that disconnected, pull it out, and voila, we're through. Then it's just a matter of removing some studs, pulling out some more trim. Did want to save the wainscoting as much as I could. Found out it's good hardwood. The bigger pieces did come out pretty well, so I think we can probably reuse those somewhere. And next I'm marking and then going to cut the sheetrock so it comes out nice and square and not jagged and cracking. Using a saw, reciprocating saw, little saw to cut that. Raised a lot of dust, so I'm using a vacuum cleaner, but still you can see the dust coming out everywhere. I did a lot of cleanup after. Get behind, started pushing the sheetrock, and boom, pretty easy. Pull out the final studs, do a little bit more electrical disconnect, and then I can pull those studs out, and I'm through.
Got the rough opening done. We now have a pass-through, no problem. Looks kind of nasty up top there a little bit. That goes into the attic. What we're going to do tomorrow, when we go to the second day of this project, is to remove this kind of archway, that partial wall, as well as the closet, remove all of that. So we're right down to the stud walls, and then we can start thinking about what we're going to do to build it back up.